Hi and welcome back to another gameplay video. We are playing Orwell Explorers, and last time we had a long conversation on a conference call between all the suspects in the case, and we got a lot of information, and it was so fast that I actually didn't have time to read it all. But I believe that all the information in this call is crucial to make the last decisions how to go about this this game, where we lean on the matter. So I believe I should look into this call again and go through it piece by piece, so we can make the right decision, or good, or at least as good as possible. So, hello, is this working? Everyone here? Well, I am. Harry, I didn't know if you would still be around. Barely got here in time. Cassie, you've been released? Yeah, thanks to Yoshi. Don't know what magic trick he pulled off, but it worked. Great! I'm not quite sure what I'm doing here, but I'm here as well. Joseph, great you're here. Holy crap, what is this? Who are you? I'm a fool who is baffled by the madness he just witnessed. Otherwise, initiate. Well, glad you decided to join us. Completely unintended. What do you mean? You're in the call, aren't you? Yeah, I'm also in Orwell. In Orwell? Abe sent me an IP address to get into Orwell. It makes hacking the damn thing incredibly easy. He did what? And that worked? Like a charm. I kinda control the damn thing. It's really worrying. Come on again, you have Orwell on a freaking leash. Fucking great. How does that worry you? My control is limited, and the government will get control back at some point. But this isn't my primary concern. What makes me nervous? Why would Abram has such extensive knowledge of Orwell? This thing reeks of an enormous trap. Abe wouldn't betray us, Cassandra said. No, he would not. But you're right, something is very strange is afoot. He should get right out now, Joseph. And then initiate again. And this is the point where it gets even worse. I had a quick look at his file. You wouldn't believe what it says. Abram is dead. He died quite some time ago. What? That's impossible. I thought that when he first disappeared, but I put it in the back of my mind. What became of him? Joseph? Dead? No. Abram, how? He was very sick. Cancer. Oh, you old fool. Couldn't you tell us? He gave Nina the orders for the bombings after his demise. This means someone has been setting her up real bad. And not only her. All of us. Who the fuck would do such a thing? Ha! The person working on this was clever. They found it all. What did they find? Who was it? Everything in here points to you. What? Yous? You? Wait a sec. I can't fucking believe where this is going. Are you for real? Are you telling me you told Nina to place these bombs? I did. I'm not proud of it, but it had to be done. What the hell? Why? You and Nina, you ruined everything for Abraham and Thought. So you decided to leave me wasn't enough for revenge? You had to kill innocent fucking people and blame it all on Thought? It was necessary. Only when things are at their darkest, people will listen, take a note, and actually enact change. Abe knew that. I know it was extreme. Extreme? Extreme? You got a murderer. I know, damn it. Believe me, I know. You are the reason I'm in custody, Jules. You could... how could you do that to me? I thought needed to be destroyed. That was the whole point of this formation. Instead of seeking me out and arresting me, Orwell labeled you all target persons and investigated you all. Screwed up your lives. People need to see how fucked up Orwell is. It's not protection, it's invasive and manipulative doom for everyone. No one is innocent, everyone is a suspect. Abe wanted to make the world stand up against things like Orwell. He knew how dangerous the project was. That's why he worked on it. He did what? He worked on Orwell? This confirms what I feared, but I didn't want to believe it. If so, he could have gone to the media and make it all public, couldn't he? He was afraid. He thought nothing would ever change if he did. Can you blame him? He told me everything, and only me. Haha, funny. I just realized you're actually much better, yet much worse activist than Nina and me could ever be. That's admirable, in a strange and very fucked up way. You're nothing but a bitch, Juliet. Liar, a killer. Cassie, I just shut up. Just shut up. This madness, Juliet. First Cassie, and then you pulled me into this. All those poor people who suffered at your hand. Still, I don't get it. Why draw all of this attention to thought? You didn't convince anyone anyone by your actions. Why this gathering? Why let me hack Orwell? I just needed to convince one person how faulty Orwell was. Costidian, the guy Harry leaked information about, was the man on the inside, only an advisor. The person who really been spying on you is still around. The person who actually went through your stuff based on the data. The one listening right now, the investigator. That's right, I'm talking to you. I knew you had to be around when everyone would come together. You had to be listening. Initiate was just a windfall, a chance to make sure you'd not immediately go up against us. Investigator, I have a question for you. Now that you saw Orwell firsthand, do you really think that this system will help anyone? Did you think the government would not spy on you as well? Did you think you were outside the system? Think again. They evaluate even you. Abe knew that. He saw the madness. They evaluate even you, the investigators. But we can't stop it. You can. Remember, you became recruited for being outside the system, outside of the nation. What if we show people what they store about you? That even you are not outside of the system. That no one is outside of the system. All you need to do, investigator, is upload the data they have on you, incriminating yourself. This is so mind-bogglingly stupid, Jules. Why would the investigator cooperate? The government will come after them. That's exactly the point. This evaluation is supposed to be a safety net so that no one misuses Orwell. Acting on evidence is mandatory. If the investigator incriminates themselves, they will be forced to prosecute them and reveal this evidence that the investigator has actually being spied on as well, publicly. That is absolutely mad. I don't see this working. I would like to offer an alternative, investigator. It's just so happens a certain Catherine Delacox is in the files too. I say we make use of the fact that we have control over Orwell. Let's use it as a weapon and turn it against the government. There's something dirty to be found about Miss Delacox for sure. Let them act on that advice. Now we're talking. No, hurting Delacox won't help much. She's just gonna be replaced. This isn't the right way. Like I said, Jules, just shut it. Nobody is interested in what you have to say. But how can we trust this investigator? What the hell? How did they find... Fuck! Harrison, what is going on? User quit the session. Okay. So perhaps he was at home at Abe's place then. So they actually found him. Seem he just fell prey to this great surveillance system. Oh shit. We need to go online with this stream. Fast. Streams up. Here's Cassandra's file. Whoa. It feels like a slap in my face. They have been collecting all of this. They got me flagged potentially dangerous. It was this investigator. On the pro side, they did find out about Jules' plot. And that's good. Oh, I guess it's not too bad. Maybe we can give it a try. Joseph, your turn. My turn? Huh? I know that's what's funny about your file, Joseph. It says you were offered a release of Cassandra for info on thought, and you agreed. Especially given the fact you just happened to Harrison. Damn, yes I did. I got the offer and I reported Harrison. I had to. Cassandra would not have been released otherwise. I can't believe this. This is horrible. But then again, you did it for me, so I don't know what to think. Fuck. Cassie, I'm sorry for Harry. I can't take this anymore. I leave me out of this crap. And she quit. Cassie, wait. You got to do this. You've got to do with this without me. I'm sorry. And he quit. Well, this is just great. See how fucked up all of this is. It's actually what we need to do. Show people how we've been affected. Get them to fight with us. I shall speak on behalf of Nina then. Only realize now it might have been my fault Nina got investigated in the first place. But it's clear the investigator is responsible for hunting her down like this. They caused her death, no doubt. Perhaps the investigator didn't know any better, and we now know Nina was guilty. It does not strengthen my trust though. But the investigator found out about Juliet's plans. This is why we can trust this person, meaning the final verdict is only the vote to trust the investigator was that's only one vote to trust the investigator. That is not enough. Are we finally going to do it my way? It's down to the two of us as it seems. Well, my plan to gather support for you failed, investigator, but if you still want to fulfill my plan, go and give Delacox hell. You'll find something dirty. Investigator, it's time to make up your mind. You can tear down the entire system. Just complete my plan, please. I will turn Delacox into a target person. I think it's easily activate access to her PC for you as well. When Abraham stopped his work for Rosen and the government, he cloned all the information he had and hid it in his office. He told me I maintained it. The system is programmed to boot itself again in a couple of minutes. You have access to everything. You just need to find the UID of the device, and I cannot tell you here now that Orwell isn't tracking data chunks. I have full understanding if you judge and incriminate me for what I've done. I think I deserve it. It's up to you now, investigator. Do the right thing. Well, that was a long call. But I think this game is really interesting. and I really like this last twist. It was a long time coming. It was something that I actually thought when I started playing the game, that this should happen in some way, because the struggle between the surveillance state and the persons inside of this surveillance state has been quite obvious. And also, I haven't spoken about this earlier, but every time I have a downtime and don't play the game for a couple hours, I get an email telling me to get back inside of the game. So they are really trying to give an impression of that this game is a part of your daily life. You log in and you do this work for this system. So just to build up the point of you are the one investigating or spying on people, and do you think it's okay to spy on people, or do you want to bring down the system? Do you want to find the actual corporate, in this case Juliet, or are you anti-government? Do you want to punish the government that put the system in place, just to make the system work better for this case? So I guess that we have a few desktops here. We have Catherine Delacox, we have Gunters, and we have Initiate. Oh, we have 3 computers. I see. So, what can we find out here? We can't close Nina's computer. Strange. No, we could. So I guess that we need to look into all these computers and see what kind of evidence that we want to bring to bear. Okay, so here we have a picture of someone playing with a computer. They are having fun, it seems. So we have information about Juliet here. Works at Rosen, coincidence, seems to have organized peaceful protest. Ex of Harrison, a bit too shy, maybe hiding something. I should get around talking to her sometime. Okay. Rosen internship. Confirmation of completed internship. We hereby confirm that Mr. Tembla Van Pillion was placed as an intern at Rosen Technologies from Friday 2014. He worked in the division of in-house security. The assignment of the internship was completed with outstanding success. Okay. You don't know this. Godfells, my friend, do you appreciate your words? And I understand them. To have considered this endlessly by result of this consideration can only be to intervene. I don't get it. Intervene with what? Why don't you tell me? I can't risk telling you. Not now. I will be placed at Rosen Tech, that's all I can say. This is very government has deprived me of a chance for a better future. A future with my sister here. And you will not stand by idly by while the most sane and intelligent person I know makes such a dick move to become corrupted by the government. The opportunity to have such an impact on our common future will only come once in a lifetime. I need you to understand this. Bullshit. We can always do something about the government. You'll find followers, build a group, gain followers, just like me. Start a guerrilla war. I think thought through what you are saying. Consider the chain of events this will set in motion. I will found a cell for this guerrilla war. Then I will recruit members, call to arms. Then we shall start acting, even bombing possibly, to kill. Then they will increase security measures. Nothing gets better. I've had it. You're making up excuses. You aren't better than anyone else. This is about money, nothing else. Don't be ridiculous. This is the last time we speak. You will no longer read your blog, no longer comment, no longer care. I will be gone. Poof. Very well, I understand. You are young, you are fiery. It's okay if you do not support the actions of a stupid old man. I would not act differently, I suppose. Maybe it's time to part ways then. It is. I hope you will achieve everything you want eventually by peaceful means, and you will be able to live your lives freely. You will always be the one to initiate my thoughts with regular comments to my posts. At very least, this will remain. Goodbye. Okay. Save protocol. Hey Winston, what's up man? So you hear about Bonton bombings? Yeah, was on the news even here. What about it? I've been doing research. I know some peeps who might be behind it. What? I spoke to them, claimed they suspect the government, so two possibilities exist. Those people aren't trying to bullshit me big time, or there's more to it. I need to exclude the latter. You wouldn't know anything about the goings on with the nation's government, would you? Actually, I might. There is this rumor. What rumor? A friend of mine claims to know a guy going on by the name of X2 Think, who got recruited by the government. Recruited? For what? For a system called Orwell. Orwell? Like the author? What is it? Yeah, just like him. It's a pretty vague what it actually can do, but everything points to a crowdsourced surveillance of the web as a whole. They recruit everyday peeps from the outside of the nation. Super hush hush. What? Are you sure? Assume the worst. Why didn't you tell me this earlier, man? Like I said, not sure, a pretty vague, but just on the grapevine. Now, where is the connection to the Bonton bombings? System entered a test phase on April 13. Rings a bell? Holy crap indeed. Anything else? Not for now. I'll try to get more info. Thanks man, I owe you. Yeah, hell yeah, you do. So I guess this could be interesting to have. Where do we have initiate? There we have him. In contact with Winston. Big brother. Schwabona umfolo knock knock big brother. Come home to Campman, your sister Mumbali. Okay, so here we have more information about how's things in the nation. It's still sprawling as the last time you sent me a letter. I sure hope so. I finally got into the unsecured Wi-Fi network from one of the houses across the street, so no more running around searching for a spot. First thing I'm doing is sending you an email, of course. Big brother, I know you're still determined to get to me in the nation. Get me to the nation. I'm writing this email to let you know that I'm fine here. Maybe our home in Cape Town isn't a house in Bonton. And of course I miss you dearly. But don't waste your life on this. You took a chance to get out of here and you had every right to. How should you have foreseen that this safety bill, or whatever it's named, you couldn't. I know you made this stupid promise to come and get me. Forget about it. I release you. Instead, promise me something else. To put your anger aside and live your life, please. By the way, your old laptop is fine. In fact, I'm typing this very email on it. Remember the endless hours we sat in front of that tiny broken screen and you would show me how to operate it. But mostly we could play this ancient version of Battleship that showed nothing but grids and circles and crosses. Hey, why don't we play around via email? Huh? Put your up your ships. Don't read further. I started D2. Did I hit? So, looking forward to your answer, big brother. And don't forget that promise. And don't forget that promise, okay? Abraham, need to visit him at Rosem. I need to know what he does. He really was there. Didn't recognize me though. What he is doing in there? What the hell became of him? Nina, real sweetie, angry, need to check her, soldier in the army, was a kid, Michael, don't think has a kid, Michael, don't think she's behind this. No, she isn't. Cassandra, mostly harmless, arrested. Joseph, no idea who this guy is. Orwell, new surveillance system according to Winston, crowdsourced. Observe the whole web, secret recruitment inside the nation, checked IP so far. We have a list there. Possible intrusion points, backend server, 2 firewalls up there, doable. Benjamin Constiga, advisor. What is an investigator then? Fuck, got booted out hard. Don't try this IP again, might be tracking me. Okay. So this gives us initiate, so we can actually put a name on him if we want. So let's look at Della Cox. See as advised as Orwell's might be, it won't gather much from a switched off PC. Goodbye, investigator. Soon you might find yourself in a position where you are wishing you had listened to my warnings. Okay? And here's this desktop. Nothing in trash. We have a lot of notes. We have some private, let's start with that. Papa! It is you, isn't it? Okay. Don't ask how I found you. It took me quite a while to figure it out. You hid your traces well, but I still managed to find some threads. Abraham Godfelds. Is this who you are now? Well, I hope it was worth it. Leaving Mama, leaving me. What did we do to you? Was it just too much on you? Did you hate us? Do you hate us? Do you hate me? Don't get me wrong, I'm not mad at you. Somehow I can't be. I'm certain you had your reasons. I just want an opportunity to understand them. I want to understand who my father really is, why he had to leave his wife and daughter all alone. Struggling, crying, hoping every day that you would somehow return. Explaining to my friends that my father was dead, when somehow I always felt like he wasn't. I have no idea if you're interested in me, what I'm into you, if anything at all. I have attached a photo and will tell you a little about me. I finished secondary school and now I'm attending Stuttgart University where I study journalism. I travel between Gaiblinge and Stuttgart every day, even though it take 1.5 hours. I didn't want to move because of Mama. She is fine most of the time, but I'd rather not leave her alone. Speaking of Mama, I haven't told her that I found you, and I never will. She deserves some certainty though, some closure. I thought it should come from me. It needs to come from, shouldn't come from me. It needs to come from you. This is what she's been waiting for, hoping for, needing for so long now. Please redeem her. As you probably know, she is a kind spirit. She'll find it in her heart to forgive you. Who knows, after such a long time, she might be able to be happy again. This is one thing I ask of you. Do it for her. Eva. So there's his daughter. Make thought change direction. Understood. Let's see here. Nina, I suppose my message might come as a surprise to you. After a long time of contemplation, I have come to conclude that you were right when you said we must perform drastic actions to make ourselves be heard. You will probably remember that we talked about helping each other. As I see it, I have fulfilled my end of the bargain. Time to fulfill your end has come. I'm in need of your help. Let me know when you feel up to the task. I thought you had left us. I even understood and come to terms with my own thoughts of why you had vanished. I was against your course of action, even though you have been trying to help me. There's nothing to apologize for. If I can help in any way, I'm willing to hear your plan. Just one thing, if we do this, you must make it absolutely sure we are impossible to be tracked. I don't want harm to come to my son. Is anyone else with us in this? We are on our own. Do not inform the other members of Thought. Do not about me, not about the plan. They will not understand and just make our actions harder to obscure. Let them get on with their lives. This is my plan. From what you have told me, you are more than capable of building a bomb, are you not? Well, we need 3 of them. Place them at the most important places in town, right before the eyes of the public. 0 Freedom Plaza at the memorial site, Stelligan University and the central courtyard, and finally the city mall. They need to be somewhere they cause substantial destruction. Hide them well, very well. Watch out the CCTV doesn't spot you, especially at Freedom Plaza. For the occasion, this occasion, I will create a workaround to distract their eyes from you. Your temp working situation will be, of course, here, giving you plenty of opportunities. You will manage. You have my utmost trust. Doing this will convince people surveillance is no use and might cause a dissent debate or even revolt we have been looking to incite. Finally, we might break the back of Delacox, perhaps even the party in this entirety. It will be the public themselves who will protect us. The outcry against surveillance will be strong it will obscure your actions. They will no longer be of interest. I will call upon you again, not via email, and tell you when to set and when to trigger the charges. Finally confirm, then erase all the traces of this email. Never reply to this address again. Understood. Okay. You'll see, Care. I don't understand. Why did you not ever turn to the press? With all of this material we could have created the attention you wanted. No, we could not. Juliet, there is one thing I've learned out of all this. People need to see the consequences before they ever learn. They must experience them firsthand, or at least see them affect someone they can relate to. Otherwise, it's just an abstract concept. Are you suggesting Nina and Harry have been right all along? You can't possibly mean that. In a way, they have been, yes. Not necessarily about violence or scaring people, only a consequence. Consequence that happened right before their eyes in the everyday person, not some report. An event that is going on while everyone is watching. How could we ever achieved such an event? If I had the answer, I would have done it, Juliet. I will soon be hospitalized, Juliet. I can feel it. The sickness is getting worse with every passing day. To get up from my chair feels like a Herculean effort by now. We have tried, we have failed, we must accept this. People will eventually discover what madness this project is. All I've asked of you is to let down and get with your life, not waste your life on this as I did. It's not of any worth. No, damn it, it's worth everything, every possible effort. Juliet, you have regarded my advice. Listen to me in this case too, please. Get into Rosentech for an internship. Delete the backup of the data I have stored there. Remove every trace I've ever worked on this godforsaken project. Then quit. That's no place for you. Just walk away and do not tell anyone. I can't do that, what you have asked for. How could I ever? You're the only one who believed in me, always. Not my friend, not my family, you alone. It's exactly what I'm talking to you about this, not to anyone else. And this is the reason why I'm asking you to give it a rest. Grant me peace in knowing everything will be alright for the rest of thought. Do it, please. I will, I promise. So she went back on her promise. That's not good, Juliet. So let's look at some notes. Today I started work at Rosentech. I assigned my own work office in the main tower, right at the top of the 24th floor, next to Victor Rosen himself. I never felt so misplaced in my life, not even back in Geblinger, although I was sure it could not possibly get any worse. It's like there are only youngsters here, rushing over the floors, buzzing in the cafeteria, occupying the elevators, all of them staring at me like I'm recently unearthed a dinosaur fossil. What do I try to achieve here? The constant feeling of not being involved through is niggling at me. Continue. We had a presentation where I learned the basic project parameters of Demagogue. During the meeting I got panic attack and nearly had to vomit. I must have been paler than the sheet of paper outlining the conceptual details. The plans for the project are bereft of any ethics or common sense. It's nefarious. Nefarious is not even the word. Sinister. That perfectly describes what demagogue is. This software goes way beyond what I had feared in my worst nightmares. It's totally observation of, well, everything, without any user interaction required. And they want ethical codex. Preposterous. I'm convinced in what to think, how to feel about this. I thought it might be I might be able to change the plans from within, restrict this thing. Frankly, if I had any confidence in my ability to change it all, well, that is all gone now. It might have been luck. The development team has severe problems with the application of their recognition algorithm to automate collection and interpret relevant data so far. There is too many conflicts, too many applicable means. If I play this card right, I might be able to convince the project leads to consider the use of a human element to sort out the misinterpreted and irrelevant data, which in turn might make it at least a bit more humane. So we read these in March, April, October, January. It worked. The use of a human element referred to an investigator has been confirmed by the project lead and, even more importantly, the government itself. By now I have outlined the fundamentals of Codex. We will use not one but two human elements to give the human the full ability to do the research, at the same time draw conclusions. Is just too much power in one hand. Instead, the power will be shared between said investigator and an advisor. The latter shall be a government employee on the inside, while crucial, the investigator is a person from the outside, so the unbiased opinion is assured. I cannot overstate how glad I am that the project lead is absolutely willing to follow my advice. And then it worked. Okay, so that was we just read. During the break in Rosen's cafeteria, I noticed a young man observing me closely from across the room for nearly 50 minutes. Again and again, when he thought I wasn't noticing. Intrigued and having finished my lunch, I walked over to his table where he sat with a colleague. I asked, I think politely enough, to join in, and they obliged. But the same man I had so intensely stared at me before now looked a bit intimidated. We talked a bit about the projects we worked on, to which I had to make up something harmless enough, and he declared to be a student on an internship for in-house security. I don't remember how it actually happened, but somehow we came to discuss ethics, and I swear that for a second this young fellow could read my mind. The way he talked, how he reasoned, left a big impression on me. Unfortunately, I had to quit the lively chatter before I could ask for his name. Damned be my recently whimsical digestive system. I better not eat in the cafeteria again. Okay, so that was in May. August. I have been working on a separating person of interest for those only appearing in relation. Searching for new source documents shall be restricted to where such target person appear. Only after thorough consideration by the advisor and the administrative staff can a person be considered a target. This should reduce the damage done to privacy to an absolute minimum. On a side note, I'm having a hard time focusing on work with my stomach pain like this. I should visit the doctor. This is starting to happen regularly, and it's not the cafeteria food. No, it's not. And the last 2 notes. I developed a team has conducted a first test in a fictitious setting. The result has been disillusioning, devastating. What have I done? How could I have ever thought this was a good thing, when in truth I have helped opening Pandora's box? The investigator somehow managed to convince the advisor that every single person in the test was suspicious. They turned out all of them into target persons by bending the truth to his liking. They spied on all their documents. Persons became labeled without looking at the full picture, without seeing the human being. Nothing works as it was supposed to. To make things even worse, they introduced a third human element. To oversee, they called it evaluation. The other two, and make sure that the investigator and administrator do not misuse their powers. Okay, so that could be something to put in. David Scott. Okay, so that's me. Let's put that on me then. So this defies the whole purpose of using 2 elements. There are no ethics in this black hole, only a boot stamping on a human face forever. No, damn this blindness, this naive of mine. They must reconsider, they must. So, where did that happen? Being evaluated. Yes. I'm at the end. I have had my share. I cannot continue the work. My conscience got the better of me, especially regarding my circumstance. When I argued with the project lead how Demigod allowed for a massive manipulation, unrestricted mass surveillance, that my ethical codex could easily be circumvented, how Orwellian this bending of the truth was, that everything the investigator considered true became true. He just laughed. He laughed and said that that's a terrific name, Orwell, would be for the system. People would assume surveillance and safety with a name like that. I could not believe it. Are they even going to use Orwell's name out of context to give it a new one? This only proves that they are not have not understood the thing. There will never. I have to make it stop in another way. It's not going to work from the inside. The people must learn the truth about this madness. Unfortunately, I cannot take anything with me. The checks in the lobby are too strict. It's crucial to undo any trace that might lead to me, or else I'll fall prey to my own abnegation. The only thing possible is cloning my entire PC into a drive, which then must remain here, hidden somewhere. Perhaps I will find a way to retrieve it later. I don't know how much time is left for me. I wish there was more. Yes. And then we have this. Highly confidential information. Project Demagogue. Rosen Technologies Limited. Author Professor Godfells Abraham. This document is highly confidential and do not distribute it or copy without authorization. Intention. Goal of this paper is to stimulate a set of mandatory guidelines to be implemented in the mechanics of the hard and soft combination titled Demagogue. Said project is developed at Rosentech Limited as a creation of this document. The intention of Demagogue is to allow the investigation of crimes and suspects in individuals through online information. The very nature of the project demands for the inclusion and embedding of strict limitation in order to ensure the preservation of privacy of said individuals and everyone related to them. The guidelines as stated herein shall serve this cause. Okay. Another of these. The human elements. Okay, so I think we skipped one. That's 1, 2. And it says 3. The human elements. The use of human elements in the system shall serve the purpose of keeping the investigation impartial while the same keeping the powers divided. Demagogues shall be operated by pairs of human elements, a advisor who will operate from within the system, and an investigator who shall be the client outside of the system, i.e. the nation. The advisor shall be employed by the government. Their duties shall include the advising of an investigator as well as drawing the conclusions and requesting actions, e.g. considering a person as a target person. To do this, and the advisor may communicate directly with the investigator. The investigator shall be a citizen outside of the nation and reach the utmost impartially. The investigator must not be able to communicate with the advisor to prevent power misuse. Targets and related persons. An individual referenced during investigations should be considered as related persons unless there is a significant indication that they are involved in the investigated case and the advisor decides in agreement with the superior that the person in question is to be considered a target person. Those individuals shall be regarded as a reference to as target persons. More so, data chunks shall only ever be processed for said target persons. Restrictions of discovery. The discovery of new documents shall be restricted to those which a target person can be identified beyond any doubt. A similar data to an already contained can be detected. The investigator must be prohibited from browsing the web freely, even from public pages. There shall be no distinction between public documents and privately accessed ones. Conclusion. Based on the guidelines proposed in Guidelines 2, we should conclude that ethical surveillance is possible. How can I write this? This is absurd. Marked as to do. Auth info. This documentation is highly confidential. Demagogue authorization key A. Goldfeld's full access. Okay. Can I put this auth info? This is something I can't use. Okay. So we have fetched everything here. Notable alumni. Here. Her early study as a student of criminal law, Catherine Delacox has been a member of the party. And that's just to bring more information on her, and I don't think that's of any interest. Do we have anything else? People? Mr. House subsequently granted the position of the first inception of the security bill. Yes, that we know as well. We have read all those already. Police database. So he was arrested because he was at that address. Found alone at Orchard Drive working on his laptop which was connected to a public Wi-Fi spot. When the suspect noticed our arrival, attempted to flee. He attempted to flee, I guess, but was quickly cornered by officers in pursuit. He complied and offered no resistance to the arrest. Evaluation of Scott. So we have found a evaluation of us. Rating trustworthy investigator in the Bonting bombings. Let's see here. Flag Mr. Watergate as potentially dangerous. Yes, I did that. But believes that Christina Watergate protected J. Carrington. Not really interesting. Provided material to pressure Christina Watergate during interrogation. Warns about possible armed suspect. Investigation lead to the death of Nina Matanova. Finds significantly incriminating material on Harrison O'Donnell. Finds significantly incriminating material on J. Carrington. Reveals A. Godfellow Aarons worked for the ethical codex of Orwell. Okay, so what's the important stuff here? First off, the most important I feel about this information is that I actually killed Nina Matanova. That's something that has weighed heavily on my conscience, so that's very important to put in there. Can perhaps say that I warned of her to be an armed suspect, because that's a tad bit more good. And then I found a lot of incriminating information about Juliet. That's important. I also revealed that he worked on ethical codex of Orwell. Yes. Under the spreading chestnut name. Thoughts are free. Parliament occupied. Self-incriminating Orwell investigator causes revealed protects. Government or cancels Orwell. Government announces immediate termination of Orwell. Impartially agency commences erased. No evidence against Carrington. Previously arrested thought member Carrington released. No solid evidence for Bonton bombings increments. Investigator assisting activist group thought with recent revelations to be declared honorable member. Okay, so the sound has hooked a bit, I guess. A thought declared as the investigator assisting the activist group with the recent revelations, an honorary member. It's presumed that this symbolic act is an attempt to save the investigator from possibly prosecution by exposing his role to the public, since the investigator broke national law by their actions. This presumed to mark the end of the case known as the Bonton bombings. Experts suggest that after the troubled events of the recent week, the nation and its citizens will finally find the same long overdue peace and quiet. Okay, so I guess I will need to put that in as well. Hello, Orwell. Osmotic Studios did a wonderful job on this. There were some strange coincidences where I thought that the red thread in the game was a bit off, that you couldn't take the actions I wanted, but those were few and far between. So I think they did a wonderful job, and yeah, a really nice programming. I didn't encounter any bugs or strange things inside of the game. The only thing I was a bit, yeah, the story was good, but I think there were some spaces where you didn't really know what kind of information Orwell were required to get to actually move on, because in some cases you had some not relevant information just laying around, and you thought, okay, I will put this in because I can, but I don't think that it will make any difference, and that actually progressed the story forward, and that was a bit disturbing, that you couldn't really see that if I wanted to go this way I needed to take these actions, and if I wanted to go another way I take other actions. So some cases that was not clear. Oh, they had a lot of testers actually. That's nice, and it's a very good and important job. So here we have a thanks to. I wonder if Orwell was kickstarted, and if they will have a backer count or anything like that, because it's an indie game. We would also like to thank families and friends who helped make the game possible. Made with Unity. This game is a work of fiction. Names, characters, business, places, events, incidents are either the products of the author's imaginations or used in a fictitious manner, and resemblance to actual persons living or dead or actual events is purely coincidental. Coincidental. Yes, very important to have that piece of information in there, because some of these cues or some of these events are similar to actual events in the world. So you should not bring pieces of the game into reality or vice versa. Nice. So that was Orwell. I liked it. I think the conclusion was good. I liked that you had 3 different ways you could go with it, or even 4 if you like to. I think you also could find incriminating information about the initiate. I thought I found a lot of information about the different parties involved, and I made an active choice to incriminate myself, because I thought that I did a little bit of a bad job when I killed off Nina. I really should have seen that one coming. Yeah, please like this video if you liked this content. Share it with your friends and leave a nice comment and engage with me. Tell me what you would have done differently. Do you think that my conclusion to this game was a good one, or had you chosen a different path? Please tell me. And Subscribe if you want to see more gameplay videos like this one. I really like to play adventure games or story-rich games. Perhaps not with this much reading in it. I will probably find a game with less reading next time. My throat is a bit coarse at the moment. And I really hope to see you in the next video.